6 days ago. While you were probably scrolling TikTok, China dropped something that will make you question everything you know about AI. Moonshot AI, a Chinese startup backed by Alibaba, just released Kimi K2.5. An open-source AI model with 1 trillion parameters that beats GPT 5.2 and Claude Opus 4.5 on multiple benchmarks. And here's the insane part, it can control 100 AI agents at the same time. 100 agents working in parallel. To give you perspective, when you use ChatGPT or Claude, you're talking to one agent. It thinks, it responds, it waits. Kimi K2.5 spawns an entire army of specialized agents that work simultaneously. It's like having 100 developers working on your project at the same time instead of one. And this isn't vaporware. This is live right now. You can go to Kimi.com, you can download the weights from Hugging Face, you can run it locally if you have 600 gigabytes of RAM. Which, okay, most people don't. But the point is this is real, it's open source, and it's already outperforming close American models. Let me break down what just happened here. On January 27, 2026, Moonshot AI released K2.5 after training it on 15 trillion tokens of mixed visual and text data. For context, that's more training data than GPT-4 used. And they did this on top of their K2 base model using something called the Mu1 optimizer. Now, here's where it gets technical, but stay with me because this matters. Kimi K2.5 uses a mixture of experts architecture. That means it has 1 trillion total parameters, but only activates 32 billion per request. So you get the power of a massive model without needing insane amounts of compute to run it. And unlike other models that were trained on text and then had vision capabilities bolted on later, Kimi K2.5 was trained on visual and text data together from day one. Which means it doesn't just understand images. It thinks in images and text simultaneously. This is native multimodality. So what can it actually do? Well, according to Moonshot's benchmarks, K2.5 scored the highest on HLE4, which is one of the hardest LLM evaluations in existence. 2,500 questions spanning math, physics, coding, reasoning. And K2.5 beat GPT 5.2. It beat Claude Opus 4.5. It beat everything. But here's what makes this truly game-changing: Agent Swarm. This is not just another AI model. This is a fundamental shift in how AI works. Instead of one agent processing your request step by step, K2.5 breaks your tasks into subtasks and assigns each one to a specialized agent. Then they all work at the same time. Let me give you a real example. You want to research a complex topic, generate a 50-page report, create charts, find sources, and format everything professionally. Normally, an AI would do this sequentially. Research, then write, then create charts, then format. With Agent Swarm, one agent researches, another writes, another generates charts, another formats. All at once. Moonshot claims this reduces execution time by 4.5 times. So a task that takes ChatGPT 2 hours, K2.5 does it in 26 minutes. And they're not making this up. Independent developers have been testing it and confirming these results. Now, let's talk about what this means for developers. K2.5 has something called Kimi Code CLI. It's a command line tool that integrates with VS Code, Cursor, and Z. You can give it an image of a user interface design, and it will generate the complete front-end code. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Pixel perfect. Or you can upload a video of a workflow, and it will write code to automate the entire process. This is visual to code generation at a level we've never seen before. And it's open source. Which means any developer can integrate this into their tools for free. But wait, there's more. K2.5 can process documents, spreadsheets, PDFs, create presentations. It has two modes, instant mode for quick responses, and thinking mode for complex reasoning. Thinking mode uses chain of thought, which means you can literally see the AI's reasoning process. And here's something nobody is talking about, the pricing. Kimi K2.5 API costs 60 cents per million input tokens and $2.50 per million output tokens. For comparison, GPT 5.2 costs $3 input and $15 output. That's 5 times cheaper on input, 6 times cheaper on output. So let me break down what just happened in the last week. A Chinese startup, founded in 2023, just 3 years old, raised $1.2 billion at a $4.8 billion valuation, released an open-source model that beats the best American closed models, and made it 5 to 6 times cheaper. And you know what happened to US tech stocks? Nothing. Because almost nobody in the West is paying attention. The DeepSeek crash in January was a warning. But everyone thought, okay, that was a one-time thing. American AI companies are still dominant. And then Moonshot drops K2.5 and proves, this is not a one-time thing. This is a trend. China is releasing open-source AI models at a pace that US companies cannot match. DeepSeek V3, Alibaba Qwen3, now Kimi K2.5. And there are more coming. DeepSeek V4 is allegedly dropping this month. GLM5 from Jipu AI. Minimax M2.2.
It's an avalanche. The stocks are plummeting.
We need a circuit breaker now.
We underestimated their velocity.
And here's the strategic genius of what China is doing. They're not trying to build a monopoly like OpenAI or Google. They're flooding the market with free, open-source models that anyone can use, modify, and deploy. Which means developers in Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and India are building their entire AI infrastructure on Chinese models. Not American ones. Microsoft already reported that DeepSeek usage in Africa is 2 to 4 times higher than in other regions. Now add Kimi K2.5 to that. Add Qwen. Add all the other Chinese models. In 5 years, the majority of global AI applications might be running on Chinese open-source infrastructure. And the US government is completely missing this. They're focused on blocking chip exports, on sanctions, on keeping NVIDIA H200s out of Chinese hands. But it doesn't matter. Moonshot trained K2.5 for $4.6 million. DeepSeek trained V3 for $6 million. You don't need the newest chips when your architecture is this efficient. So where does this leave OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic? Well, OpenAI is rushing to release GPT 5.2. Google is pushing Gemini 3.0. Anthropic has Claude 4.5 Opus. But here's the problem. They're all closed, they're all expensive, and they're all slower than Chinese open-source models. The moat is disappearing. Now, I want to be clear. Kimi K2.5 is not perfect. Running it locally requires 600 gigabytes of RAM. The Agent Swarm feature is still in beta. There are edge cases where GPT 5.2 or Claude might perform better. But the trend is undeniable. Chinese AI labs are closing the gap fast. And for developers, this is incredible news. You now have access to frontier-level AI models for free. You can download the weights. You can fine-tune them. You can build commercial products on top of them. The modified MIT license that Kimi K2.5 uses allows commercial use with attribution. So what should you do right now? If you're a developer, go to kimi.com. Sign up. Test the API. If you're technical enough, download the weights from Hugging Face and experiment locally. If you're a business, start evaluating whether Kimi K2.5 can replace your current GPT-4 or Claude usage at a fraction of the cost. And if you're just someone who follows AI news, pay attention to what's happening in China. Because in 2026, the AI race is not just OpenAI versus Google anymore. It's the entire Chinese open source ecosystem versus American closed models. And right now, the open source side is winning. I'm going to be testing Kimi K2.5 extensively over the next week. I'm going to compare it head-to-head with GPT 5.2 and Claude Opus 4.5 on real coding tasks, research projects, and agent workflows. So if you want to see those results, make sure you're subscribed because this is moving fast. Alright, that's it for this one. Let me know in the comments, have you tried Kimi K2.5 yet? Do you think Chinese open source models will dominate the next 5 years? Or do you think OpenAI and Google will fight back? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.